Hello, my name is Emily Brannon, and I'm one of the attorneys here at Shapiro, Cooper, Lewis & Appleton. I wanted to take a couple minutes today to talk to you about how you as a plaintiff might be able to recover twice or 3 times in your personal injury claim. The first means of recovery is probably the most obvious, which is the defendant's liability insurance. I think the easiest way to explain this to you is to walk through a hypothetical. So let's say that Joe Smith is driving down the road, stopped at a stoplight, and he gets rear-ended. The person that hit him is obviously at fault or liable for his injuries. Therefore, Joe will be able to recover under the defendant's insurance policy, assuming that he has one, for his bodily injury, property damage, and wage loss and pain and suffering. This is the most obvious means of recovery to plaintiffs, but the next one might not be as obvious. Let's say Joe has health insurance, and Joe goes to the emergency room and various other health care providers for his treatment related to this accident. When he gets up to pay without even thinking about it, he hands his health insurance card to the clerk, and she processes the claim through his health insurance policy. The only thing that Joe has to pay is his copay or deductible, and basically his insurance company covers the rest of the bill. So you have to ask yourself, if the defendant who hit him is responsible for those damages, then how does the insurance company pay? Well, in Virginia, health insurance companies are not automatically entitled to be reimbursed for anything that they spend on your medical bills if you get into an auto accident. That being said, the criteria that they have to meet in order to get reimbursed is a little bit confusing under a federal law known as ERISA. Generally speaking, a lot of health insurance companies in Virginia, like many other states, don't qualify for reimbursement. Therefore, Joe has recovered those benefits from his health insurance policy, and they don't have to be paid back. He also gets a credit for those bodily injuries and bills from the defendant's liability policy when we get to the point of negotiating settlement or trying the case. The third and probably the least obvious means of recovery to plaintiffs is what's called MedPay coverage. The real term is medical expense benefits provisions, and this is a coverage available to you under your automobile insurance policy. And this coverage will allow you to have a certain amount of money to cover for bodily injury and wage loss that comes up as a result of an accident. In Virginia, like many other states, this comes up irregardless of fault and irregardless of whether or not you have health insurance. That being said, we go back to our hypothetical with Joe, the savvy consumer, who had signed up for $5,000 in MedPay coverage. If Joe's a smart guy, he gets a personal injury attorney, like the ones here at Shapiro, Cooper, Lewis & Appleton, and we determine that he has MedPay up front. After Joe is finished with his treatment, we submit what's called a MedPay demand to his auto insurance carrier. Now, even one more twist, MedPay is stackable. So Joe has 3 cars on his policy. You take the $5,000 allowed and you multiply it times 3, and Joe's eligible for $15,000 in MedPay coverage. So we've submitted a demand to his insurance policy for those bills. Now, even though those bills have been paid by his health insurance policy, we're still going to get that money for Joe, and it's just going to go in his pocket, assuming that his health insurance company paid all the bills already. Then after all of this is done and we submit Joe's claim to the auto insurance carrier for the defendant, or we take the case to trial, we get a credit for Joe's pain and suffering, bodily injury, those bills we've already discussed, property damage, and wage loss. So as you can see, Joe's recovered now 3 times for 1 accident. I invite you to take the time to go to our website and check out all the attorney profiles. I'm sure that you'll find we have plenty of experience and we're very competent and able to handle your claim. Thank you.